Hello everyone, today I will be showing to you on how to install two operating systems on one computer. So there are four parts in installing an operating system. Part 1 is create bootable drive and it has 9 steps. So let's get started. Part 1. Create a bootable drive and the step 1 is to install Windows. If you haven't already done so, you should install Windows before installing any other operating systems. Other operating systems such as Linux are designed so they can work alongside Windows. If you have not installed any operating system on your PC, make sure you install Windows first. The exception is if you are trying to dual boot Windows alongside Mac OS on a Mac. Macs are built a little different than most standard PCs and generally comes with Mac OS already installed. Step 2. Navigate to Rufus in a web browser. This is the web page to download Rufus, which is a tool used to create a USB install drive that you can use to install an operating system on your computer. You can also use an official install CD or DVD. Step 3. Download and install Rufus. Use the following steps to download and install Rufus from the download page. Scroll down and click Rufus 3.8. Run the Rufus 3.8exe from within your browser or downloads folder. Step 4. Download a disk image, ISO, from the operating system you want to install. A disk image is a data that goes on an installed disk, DVD, or USB drive. You will need to go to the website of the operating system you want to download and download the ISO file from the website. The following links contain operating system ISO image you can download, such as Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Debian, and installing Mac OS on a non-Apple computer is more complicated than installing other operating systems, but it is possible. Step 5. Insert a blank USB flash drive. Make sure the USB drive has enough space for the operating system you want to install. Also, make sure the USB drive you can use don't have any important data that you don't want to lose. Insert the USB drive into the open USB port on your computer. Step 6. Open Rufus. It has an icon that resembles a USB flash drive. Click the Rufus icon in your Windows Start menu to open Rufus. 7. Select your USB flash drive. Use the drop-down menu below. Devices to select your USB flash drive. 8. Click Select. It's the button to the right of boot selection in Rufus. This opens a file browser you can use to insert the ISO file for the operating system you want to install. Step 9. Select the operating system ISO file and click Open. This loads the ISO file into Rufus. Click Start. It's the bottom of Rufus in the right. This starts the process of writing the ISO file to the USB folder or USB drive. This may take a while to complete. For the part 2 in installing OS is to create a new partition, and it has 7 steps. The first one is to make a backup of any important data files. You can usually partition a disk drive and install a new operating system without losing any important data. However, it's a good idea to back up any important data on your disk before you start partitioning. and installing a new operating system just in case something goes wrong. Step 2. Click the Windows Start menu. It's the icon with the Windows logo. By default, it's in the lower left corner in the taskbar. Step 3. Click Disk Management. It's in the menu that appears when you right click on the Start menu. This opens the Disk Management window. Step 4. Right click your Windows installation drive. This is the drive that Windows is installed on. Usually this is the C drive. Step 5. Click Shrink Volume. It's in the menu that pops up when you right click on a disk drive in your disk management. 6. Enter the amount of space you want to allocate the new operating system installation. Type the number of megabytes you want to partition from the disk drive. In the field text, enter the amount of space that shrinks in MB. Make sure you enter the minimum space required to install the operating system. Now convert gigabyte to megabyte. Simply multiply by 1000. For example, 40 gigabyte is equivalent to 40,000. 7. Click Shrink. This creates a new partition of an allocate space on your hard drive. For the third part in installing OS is to prepare your PC. And it has 5 steps. And the first one is turn off fast boot. The following steps allows you to turn off fast boot on Windows. Click the Windows Start menu, type Control Panel, and click the Control Panel icon. Type Power Options in the search bar in the upper right corner. Choose what the power button does. Click Change Settings that are currently unavailable. Make sure the box that says Turn on Fast Startup Recommended at the bottom is not checked. Click Save Changes. Step 2. Enter your computer BIOS. You'll need to make some changes to the BIOS in order to install a second operating system. The method for entering the BIOS is different from one computer. Make the model to the next. On some computers, you can enter the BIOS by pressing one of the functions keys: F1, F2, F9, and F12. Escape or delete. While your computer boots up, you can also use the following steps to reboot in the BIOS from within your Windows. Click the Windows Start menu. Click the power icon. Hold Shift and click Restart. Click Troubleshoot. Click Advanced Options. UEFI Firmware Settings. Click Restart. Step 3. Disable Security Boot. The BIOS menu is different from the one computer make and model to the next. Use the arrow keys on your keyboard to navigate the BIOS menu. Secure Boot is usually found in the Security Boot or Authentication menu. Locate Secure Boot and set it to Disable. Step 4. Set the boot order to boot from a USB flash drive first. This is usually found in the boot menu. Locate the boot order menu and set it so it boots from a USB drive first. If you are using a installed CD or DVD, set it to install from the CD DVD ROM first. In step 5, Save your settings. After making the necessary changes to your BIOS, locate the option to save your settings. Select the option to save, then exit BIOS and to save the reboot your computer. And the final part in installing an OS is to install the operating system, which has 9 steps. And the first one is to insert the install disk. If you use Rufus to create USB install disk, insert the USB flash drive into an open USB port on your computer. If you are using CD or DVD, install disk, insert it into your CD or DVD-ROM drive. Step 2. Restart your computer. If your computer is powered on, go ahead and restart it. Otherwise, press the power button on your computer so that it boots from the installed disk. Wait for the setup program to load. If your computer property boots from the installed disk, you should see the setup program from the operating system. Step 4. Select your language and keyboard layout. The setup program for each operating system is a little different. Generally, you will start by selecting your language and keyboard layout. Step 5. Enter the CD key or serial number if needed. Some operating systems such as Ubuntu are free to install. Other operating systems such as Windows require you to purchase a CD key or serial number. If asked to enter the serial number or CD key, enter the numbers in the space provided. Step 6. Select the custom or other installation option. When selecting the installed type, select custom or other, something else, or similar. Selecting a standard installation may override your current operating system. 7th step. Format the drive you want to install the operating system on. When installing a new operating system, you will be asked to select which drive you want to install. From the drive, select the unallocated space you partitioned earlier. If you are installing Linux, you will need to format the drive as ext4. If you are installing Ubuntu, you will also need to format a section of the unallocated space as a wrap area. This area should be equivalent to the amount of RAM you have installed on your computer. 8th step. Follow the instruction to complete the installation. You will most likely to be asked to create a username and password for your new operating system, as well as set your time and date settings. Follow the instructions to complete the installation. Step 9. Reboot to switch between operating systems. Once you install 2 or more operating systems on your computer, you will see a menu asking which operating system you want to load when you boot up your PC. Restart your computer to switch between operating systems. So that's it for this video. Thank you and I hope you like it. So that's it for this video.